What's up, Marwen fans? Welcome back to another review of the Breaker New Ways. This week's chapter 199. Now, before I start this review, I've got some news about the future of the Breaker series, and it comes from the creators' blogs themselves, actually. Luckily, it was translated by the good people on Facebook and A-Team translators, and it says that Breaker Part 2 is coming to an end. Part 2 is going to end on chapter 200, like a lot of people thought, and will be followed by an epilogue. Next week, they're actually going to take a break and to release the chapter the following week, because there's going to be quite a few more pages, I'm assuming. So that'll be great. Hopefully, we get like 32 pages or something like that. But the future of part 3 now is what's interesting. Apparently it's not going to be released immediately after part 2, and this is because they've been working on the Breaker for like 8 years. Like part 1 took 3 years, part 2 took 5 years, and I think they've been working on another series, Archlord, as well, which is basically like added up to 10 years of non-stop working without rest. So they're pretty much burnt out. It's like they were happy with finishing part 2, but it's like I'm assuming they're kind of disappointed and burnt out from what they said. So they're going to take 1 or 2 months off after this. They're going to work on overdue volumes and some new work. Then they'll most likely, I think, eventually in the future, convert their style from the original page view to webtoon style and color, adding color. And then yeah, after that they're gonna most likely, as they said, work on some new work and then come back to part 3 whenever. I don't know when it is. There's no actual official date being stated, so I'm assuming they're just gonna take a break from the series and come back when they feel ready to, so they can bring some fresh ideas. Because you could see in the series they were starting to get burnt out, like the pace and everything. It still had its obviously finesse that made it a fun series, but the pacing and some other stuff is probably where you could tell they were getting fed up of this and wanting to finish it. So yeah, as I said, well deserved, guys, to them. They worked hard. Their artwork, the stories has always been great, and I feel like they've worked hard and deserve this rest. So whenever part 3 comes back, I look forward to it. It's just kind of weird for me because I've been reviewing the Breaker for nearly 3 years now, and I've been reading it since my second year in uni, which was 2009. So I've been reading the Breaker for like nearly 7 years, and it's kind of sad to see it go for a bit. I know it's only a hiatus, but we don't know how long it is. So yeah, I feel like I'm definitely gonna miss it because I've been literally reading them as they were being released. So yeah, it's been a long time for me, man, reading this. So sad to see it go, but as I said, good luck to the author and the artist, and wish the best for them. Can't wait to see part 3 in the future. But yes, on to the chapter. I have to say, loved this chapter. I'm so happy Jin-Lee kind of got a, a chapter focused on her, really. As I said in the past, I said I can't remember how many chapters ago, I felt like Jin-Lee was kind of discluded from the series for a bit, where she was kind of treated as, a silly character, where Sarah Kang was kind of pushed in the foreground and useful. And as I said, Sarah Kang is one of my favorite characters, but I didn't want to see Jin-Lee put down that way. This chapter really did well for her, and her mourning for Elder Kwon and her character growth was really immense, because we even see she had actual doubts when she was starting to clean up Elder Kwon's stuff with High Organ, and she questions did he actually love her. She questioned if her grandfather actually had any love for her, because she knew the last time she actually saw him in battle that the look he gave her was as clear as day to her, that he was sacrificing himself to save Shi-Woon's life. And this made her think that he didn't actually really care for her feelings or anything. The only thing was the prosperity of the Sun-Woo clan. That was what was important to her. And obviously Hai Organ was trying to say no, that's not true, but this is what she's thinking. Now here comes Elder Ming with a special gift for her, and this instantly dispels basically any doubt she had for Elder Kwon's love towards her. And it's a martial arts study book of everything, all the techniques and martial arts that Elder Kwon has, and it's basically special, it's secret, and no one can read it except her. And it was specifically left behind for her if anything happened to Elder Kwon. And we see in the flashbacks that to actually learn the techniques Elder Kwon has, it can't just be learnt by any mirroring in. You actually have to train and master the calm ignition key center techniques for 12 years. And Min was like, oh, um, he actually, this is what funny why it was brought up, because Min was like, why don't you think I might not read this? And this is when Elder Kwon said, no, because you got to do that 12 years of training. And we also learned that Elder Kwon didn't give this book straight to Jin-Lee while he was alive, because he wanted Elder Ming to hold on to it, as he knew when Shi-Woon was going to become the Gaiju, there was going to be some tough times ahead, and he wants to walk down that path with Shi-Woon, knowing that he has no regrets or fears, and any remaining fears he has, he's leaving in that book to entrust to Elder Ming and pass basically it on to Jin-Lee, and that's literally passing on his legacy to Jin-Lee. So when Jin-Lee learns this now, she's hysterical. She's thinking, this is irresponsible. Why would he give this to someone like me who can't even do the training, and straight after his death? And then she's like, after training for 12 years to even start thinking of learning these techniques. And before she can carry on, Elder Min pretty much is like, your training started from the time you started joining the Sun-Woo clan. It's like the calm ignition is something you've been doing all this time. Elder Kwon was preparing her from the time she started to learn the calm ignition training, so that she would be prepared to inherit these techniques whenever the time was ready. So this book is literally only for her, and that's, you might as well say, not only the final kind of legacy and inheritance he's passing on, it's also his love as a grandfather to his granddaughter. He really did love her, and we've seen that before anyway, but she never really saw it. So the fact that this has been passed on to her is really obviously kind of struck a nail in her head, like, yes, he did love you, this is the special treatment he was giving to you, and he wants you to be a boss like he is, because she masters these techniques. She's going to be the next Elder Kwon. She is going to be literally a monster, and I can't wait to see that. Now, the rest of the chapter was interesting. We had Sarah Kang and Kang-Sung discussing the situation in the Mirror World, and that is becoming much weaker now with the loss of Elder Kwon, and his death is a massive blow to the Mirror World, and the fact that, you know, he's gone, the other clans have shown weakness. They're gonna be basically weak to outside threats. So we even see with the recent events, with obviously the Nine Arch Dragon threatening to destroy all the clans in Seoul City, the lack of action from the other clans showed that the Mirim is weak. Like, all these elders didn't want to do a thing. When they were faced with a threat, they're like, it's not our business. So that means the Mirim world's power will eventually vanish, and Kang-Sung is very concerned about something like this, so he's asking Sir Kang, what suggestions can you give me? And it's basically encourage the Mirim world that the new gen leaders, which would be like Shi-Woon's generation and Sarah Kang herself and whoever, can surpass and overwhelm the Nine Arch Dragon and will be able to stand against him. And she does imply in this chapter with that picture of Shi-Woon that he will be the start of this new rise of the generation of leaders of the Mirim clans and the Mirim world. So he has literally started this, and now, you know, everyone else will obviously follow eventually and link up with him and make the Mirim world strong by making all these clans ready to, you know, kind of band together and be strong. Because this is not what's happening now. These current leaders are arseholes and they need to go. So the ending, it was brilliant. I liked the ending of this chapter. It felt nostalgic and well done. Shi-Woon is soaking in his bed. He's in better condition, obviously thanks to the overhaul rebirth, making him heal much quicker than anyone else, but he's still depressed about Elder Kwon's death. And Jin-Lee enters, and what amazed me was she entered in the original outfit she wore when she was introduced at the beginning of this series, with the kind of coat, the hot pants and all sort, and even the earrings. And straight away she berates him. It's like, what are you sitting there daydreaming and moping about for? The funeral ended days ago. And to me, that's like, basically, get off your ass, stop sulking, and lead our clan. You got work to do. And that just shows you she's obviously, you know, she's still upset about Elder Kwon's death, but getting that book has probably kind of left peace, or, you know, given her closure. And now she needs to kind of kick Shi-Woon back into gear. And this feels like, you know, a typical Bleach moment where Rukia kicks Ichigo back into gear, and I just think this is what was needed. He was probably gonna fall into depression. Even Gyu-Bum said that, so he's grateful for her to arrive and stop that depression. And as I said, it was a very good way to obviously end of that chapter, because it felt like it's come full circle with Jin-Lee getting all aggressive towards Shi-Woon. So as I said, yeah, I love this chapter. I'm really happy that Jin-Lee kind of got her character growth, and now she's going to be a badass in the future. I can't wait to see that. The only thing I can hope for next chapter is we get to see Shi-Ho and she's actually awake. That would be a nice little cliffhanger there with her waking up. And we still need to see what So-Chun is thinking after Jung Chan's death. Does he resent Shi-Woon and the Sun-Woo clan and everyone else, or is he, going to join up with him? And then the final things I want to know is what Shi-Woon's actually going to do, what steps he'll take now, and what kind of training he's going to do and who he'll train with, because that's still up in the air. And as I said, now he's literally not only the hope for the Sun-Woo clan, but for the Mirren world. There's a lot going to be riding on his shoulders, so it's going to be interesting to see what's going to be shown in the final chapter of part 2, and I'm looking forward to it. So you've heard what I had to say, how I feel about this chapter and the series as a whole, and what else, what to expect in the future. Part 3, whenever that comes out, I'm looking forward to it. But I've rambled on a lot. You know how I feel, and I can't wait for obviously the epilogue of this series. So you guys know the usual. If you enjoyed this, let me know what you think, and I'll speak to you guys in 2 weeks. Take care.